Hello everyone, Gaara here and welcome to the very first deck tech video of the Knights of the Frozen Throne, and I'm super excited to show you the very first deck and which I playtested the past 7 hours. And without further ado, let's get right into it. So the very first deck is a non-greedy, non-Enzov control Paladin, and I've been playtesting it on my stream today, and I tried to come up with the best possible version, at least for now. This deck is not the final version, this is just the last version of the deck that I had. This is like the best version for now. And what you can see on this screen is on the top left you can see my deck tracker with the stats. I will go over that, and I will have these card things open at the same time because I might switch when I talk about a card to show you something relatable to it. For example, the spreadsheet or the tracker. And then in the bottom left you can see my sheet, which I have been talking about in the last 2 videos. In the right you can see the deck list, and in the top left you see my tracker. So let's kick this off with the sheet. In this video I'm going to talk about a non-Enzov control Paladin. It's one of my 57 archetypes. I just wrote down the cards that felt strong, that I consider core in the deck list, and cards that I tested and that didn't feel too strong. Let's start with that before I get into the deck list. So Stonehill Defender still seems very powerful, even though it got indirectly nerfed with the Righteous Defender or Righteous Protector. And as you can see, I noted also that Righteous Protector felt really weak. The reason for that is I mainly faced control deck on the ladder. A lot of control decks, very few aggressive decks. The higher I climbed, then I started facing more aggressive decks, mainly aggro druid, which is interesting. But even aggressive decks, the Righteous Protector is not that powerful as a Doomsayer. And against control decks, this is obviously a very, very weak card. The cards that felt strong were Stonehill Defender, even though you can get the Righteous Defender from it. On the other hand, you can still get Lich King, and I got Lich King like 3 times or so, and this is just super powerful. Lich King is one of the strongest cards, at least for Paladin, because I was only playing control Paladin. I placed a little bit of Enzov Paladin in the beginning, but mainly I focused just on non-Enzov control Paladin. Equality feels very powerful. There's so many boards where you just need immediate answer. A lot of people are playing Lich King in their decks. You just have to kill it immediately, and just there's so many minions that you play right now. There were like still a lot of Jade Druids, Ram Druids, Priests. Like even Priests can play proactive now. A lot of Enzov decks, and you just need to clear all these minions. So equality feels very strong still. Harrison Jones feels very strong even against non-weapon classes. A lot of people play Lich King, and if you get the Frostmourne, which is the new 7 mana Death Knight card, it's just super powerful. So you can get Harrison Jones value even against non-weapon classes. And on top of it, still a lot of people play Medivh. I faced Priests, and almost all the Priests were playing Medivh, so a lot of Harrison Jones value. And still there's like Control Warrior and Control Paladin, and it's just very strong cards right now. Ragnaros feels very strong because a lot of the control decks have like a burn plan now. For example, Anduin from the Priests, I faced Anduin burn, Kazakus Priest decks. Druids have now Malfurion, which is like aggressive hero power. I faced control Warlocks that have an aggressive hero power if you play the Gul'dan. It's like a lot of aggressive late game, and you have way more weapons now. You can get weapons through the Lich King, you can get weapons from Tyrion, from Uta, a lot of weapons. Yeah, just a lot of weapons, and you take a lot of phase damage in the process, so healing is much more relevant. So the Ragnaros feels very strong. And the Skulking Geist feels very powerful, and let's talk about the Skulking Geist a little bit more in depth, because I took the time to wrote down against which classes the Skulking Geist was powerful. This is like my card analysis. The stats are worth around 4.5 mana, I would say. The 4 attack and 6 health. I would consider Skulking Geist as a better tech card than Black Knight. You cannot play Black Knight proactively. When you have 6 mana, you don't have to address the board, you can just play the Skulking Geist, which is very powerful. Black Knight just sits in your hand. I was also playtesting Black Knight today. For 1.5 mana, you get the immediate effect, and it is very good versus Jade Druid. Extremely good. And I also recorded a game against Jade Druid, which I will show you in this video as well. And it just kills Mark of the Lotus. Some Jade Druids play Naturalize, which you also remove Mark of the Lotus against aggressive Druid, so it's not completely dead, and you kill Earth and Scales on top of Jade Idol. I've faced Jade Druids that just immediately conceded after I played the Skulking Geist, so not just in theory, it is a great card against Jade Druid, in practice as well, it is a very, very good counter tech card versus Jade Druid. Hunter, it removes only Hunter's Mark and Play Dead, but Play Dead is definitely relevant, and Tracking against Mage, it doesn't really remove anything relevant. And against Paladin, it would remove secrets if they are keeping them after they play the Hydrologist, but besides that, not really too much. Against Priest, it is also a very powerful card because it is a 4 attack minion, and it removes on top of it Smites, Inner Fires, Potion of Madness, Power Word, Shields, just a lot of cards. And against Rogue, it was very good as well because it removes Cold Blood, the new Doomerang, Hallucination, and Journey from Below, and it gives you immediately also information about the entire deck list. Against Shaman, it removes Evolves, which is relevant as well because Shaman is usually holding back on the Evolves to use it together with the Doppelgangster. Against Warlock, it removes Soulfire and Coil, and against Warrior, it removes now Blood to Ichor, which I've seen people play in the new tempo / control-ish versions. Whirlwind, which almost everyone is running in the control decks. Upgrade in Pirate Warrior, and Shield Slam in Control Warrior. So overall, a pretty strong card, I would say. Definitely worth running in my opinion. And that's it for this. The cards that feel a little bit weak were Arthas as well, which I'm still playing. The reason why I'm playing it is mainly because of Curator. And yeah, having this, I never keep Arthas in my starting hand. Getting it for free, quote unquote for free, from the Curator is very powerful, and I will talk about this Death Knight cards in a little bit more in detail in when I go over the deck list. But yeah, the Death Knight cards are very, very powerful. And Blackguard felt just a little bit too weak and too situational. Let's go over my overall track record of today. I am 65% win rate today, just past rank 5, so relatively good opponents and relatively good win rate. I started off with very weak versions. I started off like 5 and 4, and I really improved my win rate by the end of the day. I went 9 and 5 versus Druid, 2 and 0 versus Hunter, 1 and 0 versus Mage. What was this Mage? By the way, the Druids were 15, actually 70 and 30 control decks versus aggro decks, so way more control than aggro, and all sorts of control decks like Taunt Druid, Ends of Druid, Jade Druids, and I faced around 3 or 4 aggro Druids, and I won most of those games as well. So favorite versus Jade, like Druid in general. 2 versus Santa, 1 versus Mage, 0-1 versus Paladin. I think it was a control Paladin. It came really down, and my deck was really bad in that matchup. 3 and 2 versus Priest. The 2 games I lost to Priest, I got absolutely demolished. They played Lich King. He got Death Grip from Lich King, and then he pulled Enzov, because I played Enzov Paladin in the beginning, and that were like my losses. 0-3 versus Rogue. Yeah, just not too surprising, I would say. 3-0 against Shaman, which is super cool because they were like token Shamans. 3-1 versus Control Lock, 1-0 versus Taunt Warrior. So overall, pretty good win rates. Now you can see quickly over in percentage as well. And now let's get right into the deck list. So Forbidden Healing, I play 1 because healing feels really good right now because of all the weapons that I play. You get a lot of phase damage. Healing overall feels very good, and Paladin doesn't have that great healing cards. Ragnaros is the best one, and the Ivory Knights can be very random sometimes. If you have only cheap options, then you just heal for 1, then it's really bad. And sometimes the Forbidden Healing from Ivory Knight is too slow. you don't really want to run 2 Forbidden Healings, because Forbidden Healing is not a good card to react on the board, and when people mainly play control decks, it's not that great. You usually only ran 2 Forbidden Healings when the meta was full of Burn Mages and Freeze Mages. Dark Conviction, it is a card that I'm testing. I think it feels very powerful right now. I run 2 True Silver Champions and 2 Rallying Blades together with it. The card feels very powerful when I have a weapon equipped. Without a weapon, the card seems pretty weak. This is why I only run 1 of it. But since the meta is so full of control, I really like to have 1 of them. Equality, as I showed you earlier, it seems very powerful right now. I would run probably 3 or 4 equalities if I could. Hydrologist, still a very powerful card, also versus control. And against aggro, just very nice. Also with the Curator. Curator seems very powerful as well right now. Just very flexible. The secrets are very nice for the pyromancers, and getaway Kodo is usually what you get most of the time against control, to combine it with the Stonehill Defender just for more value. Aldo Peacekeeper, I'm not so sure about this card anymore. Still pretty good if you have a board. It works with the Kodo. Yeah, that you don't get blown out by like a big innerweight play or a big one cleave or something like this. Rolling Blade, I think weapons are just very good, so I'm playing those, and I prefer having like all these weapons over Doomsayers, just because there's way less aggro than control, so I'd rather have weapons than Doomsayers. But if I face aggro, I have all these weapons to take out the smaller minions. Stonehill Defender, just still a very, very, very powerful card. I consider this card absolutely core in Control Paladin. Arthas, I like it because of Curator. As you can see, I run 1 Kodo right now, 1 Arthas, which is another beast, 2 Murlocs, and 1 Dragon. So pretty good consistency for the Curator. You need to run at least 1 draw card, I would say, in Paladin, and I decided to run the Curator because it's a taunt card. It helps you to draw the Dragon versus aggressive decks. I really like 1 Primordial Drake still because of the quality enablers, and it helps you to get Arthas, which is a beast. I'm not quite sure right now if Enzov would be better. In the matches that I played today, I didn't really need it to have an Enzov in any of the games to win the game. Against J-Druid, I win through the Skulking Geist, and in all the other control matchups, I usually win through tempo. I actually won most games because of the Lich King giving me like a Frostmourne or something other crazy good card. Yeah, double consecration is still very important for the pyromancers and the qualities. True Silver Champion, I was playing 3 weapons at some point, and then I just put it back in just because if I play Dark Conviction, then the weapons are just too important, and weapons are just overall very good. Also the healing from the True Silver should not be underestimated. Harrison Jones, just explained you, also very powerful right now. Stampeding Kodo, yeah, just I want a little bit more consistency, and I'd rather have 2 beasts right now than 2 drakes. Also, when I face aggro druids, a lot of the druids play now this 1/6 taunt scarab, and the 2 mana beast card that gives you either 1/5 taunt guy or a 1/2 spider. It just feels like there's a lot of minions that you can hit with the Kodo, and against control, Aldo plus Kodo is still a very powerful combo, and a lot of the control decks are also playing Doomsayers, so if they're hiding a Doomsayer behind a taunt, you can just snipe it with the Kodo, so pretty nice still. Iron Knight, but I might replace it in the future, but there's almost no beast that is better than Stampeding Kodo if you want to run more beasts, for Paladin at least. Iron Knight, just to have more healing, also a flexible card. I was testing Spikerid Steed. Yeah, I just like the healing. I play this over Spikerid Steed. It would be completely fine to just include Spikerid Steeds in your deck. Also, Bone Mare was a very powerful card. That it was just good, but it was a little bit too slow, because I faced a little bit more aggressive decks. It's still a good card against aggressive decks. You can, as I said, this is just the final list. Bone Mare was still performing good. I changed it to have a little bit more 6 drops instead, and yep, still a good card that you can alternatively run if you want. Skulking Geist, yeah, I really like this card, so I can run a non-greedy control Paladin. As I said, Enzov, I didn't really need it, so against J-Druid it's just better to have the Skulking Geist, so I really like this card for now. Sunkeeper Tarim, just overall a must include, another staple card for Paladin. Curator feels also very powerful now with the Arthas, and Ragnaros, also a very powerful card. Lich King, a new super powerful win condition, I would say, and Tyrion. And the last card is actually Uther. I don't know, it cut off. It's like my last card in the deck. Uther, the new Paladin hero card, is to finish off the list. A lot of healing, a lot of weapons, a lot of value. And yeah, why I like Arthas and Lich King is, man, I won the game through Frostmourne. Frostmourne is just a win condition. Like, you can clear a lot of the big minions. Oftentimes you just Aldor a big minion and then you take it out with the Frostmourne to get the big minion afterwards on the board. You don't want to take too much face damage, but yeah, I was killing like Sorgods, I don't know, Lich Kings, and then you get them back on your side. It's just super powerful. There's so many powerful cards you can get from the Lich King. I don't like two of the Death Knight cards. One is that removes, you clear the entire board and then you have to remove the same amount of cards from the top of your deck. But against aggressive decks, that's completely fine because you don't need to outvalue it with your deck. But against control, you prefer to not play the card, so it's a dead card in your hand. But there's a relatively small chance that you even get it. And besides that, the card that just removes the top 5 card of your deck and then summon every minion. I don't like that one as well too much, but again, against aggressive deck, that's completely fine. But besides that, also I get multiple Lich Kings from the Stonehill Defenders. Again, super powerful. Uther is also super powerful. A lot of healing, a lot of life regeneration, a lot of board control, a lot of pressure. And that's my list. I hope you guys enjoy it. I will also show you a clip now of a match, so you guys see a little bit of how the deck is played. And I'll be back in a second. So, let's see how this is gonna go. We got a druid here.
I must protect the wild. With honor.
I faced quite a few druids actually today. It's the class I faced the most. In the beginning I was only facing control druids, and then past turn 4, past rank 4, I started facing a lot of aggressive druids. So I would say right now it's more likely, especially if I'm keeping 2 cards, that this is aggro druid. And against aggro druid my hand is super bad. Against control druid it's fine because of the curator. It's nice to see that turn 1 pass. Jade druid, I've seen more Jade druids than just Ramp druids. And against Jade druid, so if this is aggro druid, repentance is the worst. I'll just go for the repentance because he passed turn 1. Alright. Y-Grove. I'll just go for the YOLO Repentance. Good chance that he just plays the Jade Spirit here. But if he goes for the Fendro, YOLO Fendro play, then I can just trade, which is really good. That's nice that he tests for Redemption and Getaway Kodo. And for another sacrifice. Now he knows pretty much what this is. I don't really have a play for next turn. I don't want to play the True Silver. If he plays Harrison, he would just instantly win the game. So I'm just trying to delay it. And the hero power on board is relevant for sure. There's the Jade Spirit. So basically this matchup comes down to me just throwing the Skulking Geist. Whenever I drew the Skulking Geist, I want Druid even conceded. So I like actually Consecration here. It's not that crazy good of a card. I don't like using the True Silver. I don't like trading. I'm pressuring him. Maybe I should tone down the volume a little bit. It's gonna be a big play. Also, it enables my Sunkeeper Tarim. Oh, this is very good. I just play it. And I got both idols. He doesn't play Earthen Scales, but I got both idols, which is a big deal. That's why I really wanted to play it immediately. Just playing the 10 mana card, he's playing tech cards like Olaka Crawler. It's very cool that I get this matchup and I just wanted to show you guys, like, I queue one game and then whatever I face, and then you guys just see how the deck is played out. And this is also very nice. I can just play the curator for full value, why not? I don't really want to trade. Yeah, he could have just swiped here, pawn. I mean, he has a lot of pressure, but he has very limited resources. Okay. I like trading through Salva. Let's see if there's something better. I could Kodo, but I don't have a clear. I can go Primordial Drake. Also doesn't accomplish too much.
Let me think.
True Silver plus Arthas.
For justice.
So his game plan is really to rush me down. It's gonna be very difficult with these defensive cards. Ultimate Infestation face. Like, he really just wants to kill me. I think he's hoping that I just, you know, can't keep up. Just saying. I could just go for Rag. Should be very difficult for him to kill my Rag. Do this now. I really want to get the rack out though.
For justice.
It's a lot of healing. And I like to play the Uta when I have a board. I don't like to play it as like a card on open board. I like to play it after I have the board. It's very good as well. But yeah, obviously Infestation is actually the card with the highest win rate in the game right now. At least for now, because the meta is very slow. It's just insane.
The circle of life is over.
That's very nice. Cycling, so there's a chance that Rag heals himself. He's trying to pressure me. Everything is going really good so far. It's a very good card. This one heals him, then it's like almost GG already. But it healed himself, it's really bad. But this Uta will be super crazy powerful. You know what, it's Jade Spirit? Nah, he played already both Jade Spirits. Jade Blossom, just trying to get the Jades out. I like going Uta now, because I have the board. I could just go Equality, but I like this trade. I like this trade. And I like to go face with the weapon, so I have a chance. Like, if it hits me, that's really good. And if it hits Rag, that's also really good, because Rag is full HP then. That's fine, he still has to kill it somehow. He used 2 Drakes and a Ref, he has one swipe and a Ref left. it's nice that you guys see. It's kind of like the first demonstration of how it looks like if you have Skulking Geist. And this is an anti-aggro control deck. No greedy ends of shenanigans. He plays double Golakka Crawler. Like, how many Pirate Warriors did this guy face? He played 2 Jade Spirits, 2 Idols are out, 1 Jade Blossom. He has Aya, Blossom, and Behemoth left. So 3 Jade cards. Besides that, shouldn't really have anything. So should be fine to just go Drake here. And pressure. He doesn't even have Earthen Scales. I don't think it's that greedy to even go facing this weapon. I'm a big fan of this card as well. Yeah, just gonna get on the board. I don't really need the Pyros. I just use them for board and then to play the Sunkeeper and buff them and trade. Oh, now he goes for defensive infestation. I mean, he's gonna fatigue, right? And then he realizes, okay, I can't win, and then he will concede. Maybe as Yorksaron, who knows?
Was
Yorksaron could be a thing.
Golems are a girl's best friend.
Black judgment. Any call for the maker.
Alright. And that's it for today's deck tech video. I hope you guys enjoyed it, the very first episode. I will make these daily, so stay tuned for tomorrow. I'm not quite sure. You guys can decide what you want to see next. You should go back to my analysis video where I go over all the possible archetypes and then I will look at the top rated comment. I will cover all the archetypes of my spreadsheet. I think this is a lot of fun and I hope you guys enjoy it. I will be streaming all the progress as well on twitch.tv/GaaraBestShaman. And that's it for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Thank you guys so much for watching and see you guys tomorrow.